What is today, Jen?
Friday.
Today's Friday already? Wow. Well, by Saturday evening, this will all be planted. And I don't know if we'll get that portion removed or not, maybe. But this is a big plus having this area here planted and actually starting the growing cycle, which will lead to harvest. All right, I want to go back up here and have a little look at this corn. This more mature corn up here. Right when it starts to put on ears, I want to fertilize it again. So I need to check and see how close it's getting. No, not yet. I was wanting to, right when this starts to make ears, when it starts to make corn, I want to fertilize it one last time. And I was thinking that might be tomorrow afternoon, but I don't think so. I think this needs a pesticide more than it needs a fertilization, because the bugs are in it. And they're doing a job on it. It's not real bad yet, but this needs to be sprayed. And when it's chest high like it is a good time. But I'm really pleased with this little stand of corn here. We'll get a good harvest out of this, barring some sort of calamity. These beans here are still producing, but they're getting towards the end of their cycle. Probably another 2 weeks and we'll end up taking these out, maybe 3, but probably only like 2 weeks. And hopefully by that time, the beans down there will be close to coming on. Trying to keep with my goal of having a near continuous harvest. So what we're going to do here, when they get finished planting that corn, we can come back through and clear up the rest of this field here. And we're just going to let this go for a while. Let these onions grow, because there's a lot of onions in here. And there's more back over in here. There's some pepper plants back in there, but they just, I don't know, we have a hard time with any kind of pepper except for those chili peppers there. We have a hard time with what they call the bell peppers here. They're not bell peppers, it's just a little sweet pepper. And Western style bell peppers are just almost impossible. So what we're going to do is we're going to wait for this. There's another 3 rows of onions here that need to be cleaned. And we're just going to let them grow for another month or so. And then we're going to come through, get all the rest of this cleared out here, get all this portion of the field cleared. These peppers are starting to get towards the end of their productivity. They're still producing, but they're these were the first peppers we planted down here. I don't know, we'll see. I was thinking of taking them all out. But these radishes here will be done. The carrots, Carrots is another thing we have a really hard time with here. So at least these 3 rows that were in carrots and this row of radish, they'll be taken out as well. And all this area, at least this much, and all this over here will be put into onions. And within a month's time, we'll have enough onions in this section here to have extra to transplant, and that's going to be the plan. We're just going to do this in sections because these rows need to be heightened a bit in places and widened, more widened than anything else. Like those portions of the rows down there definitely do not need to be higher, but those rows over in there do. But these rows here, we're going to have to bring in soil and widen them because the drainage portion is way too wide, and the rows themselves are not wide enough. You can see we're only getting a single rows here. That's a double row because that row is a little bit wider. But like this is a single row, this is a single row. These all need to be double rows at least, if not triple rows. So we need to, all this soil here we brought in. Where you can see the water standing is basically the level of this field. All the raised portions of these beds was out of this bank that was between pond 4 and this field, and we just lugged it over here and dumped it. We do have more soil here that we can get from this bank, and this side is all high enough and for the most part wide enough because we used the soil that was here. It just worked out that this side of the field was higher. But this one we need to bring in more soil, and it needs to be straightened a bit. I don't know how this row here got so crooked, but straighten these out, widen them up, and we're going to put plastic down. We're going to put the weed barrier down when we do the transplant. The weed barrier is not going to be here for a while, and these onions just need to grow some more so that we have enough to completely finish this portion of the field and get these rows in over here. And then a couple months after that, we'll actually begin to be able to have onions to sell. Because when we harvest at that point, then we'll just keep enough to replant and sell all the extra. What we've been doing for the last 5 months, 6 months, actually now 6 months, is we haven't been selling the onions. We've just been, as they get ready to, when they get to sellable size, we just harvest and replant all of it rather than selling any of it. So that's the plan. Thank you, everyone. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe.